This is my reaction to Dan Vasc and Violet Orlandi doing Kiss from a Rose metal version. Let's commence. Just before they launch into this, I've got to say I do very much enjoy this multi-screen setup here. Violet and Dan Vasc, multiple frames within the overall shot. And that initial bit of them, with the voices, giving us that intro of this rather famous track, Kiss from a Rose. This should be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see what the duo can provide us with in this one.
Dark side of me, love remained a drug that's the high, not the pill. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can be seen?
Violet, that was a very good vocal performance there. I'm not familiar with Violet Orlandi whatsoever, but she came in here and she started off the track with a very, very solid, very reliable vocal performance there. Her voice sounded very good, ladies and gentlemen. She has set the stage for the track. We saw an individual on the guitar there. Don't know if it's Dan Vasc. I'm not sure if Dan plays the guitar on these tracks or if he has a guitarist doing that for him. But this should now absolutely explode into that metal vibe. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I am expecting. And I'm also expecting Dan Vasc to bring that special level of awesomeness that only he is capable of. I mean, Dan just absolutely smashing that chorus for us there, ladies and gentlemen. The man's, his ability, his confidence, you can't trifle with that. You can't mess with it. The man's just going to give you that voice. And I mean, look, you're just going to have to accept it. That sort of thing.
There is some excess man can tell you so much he can say. You remained my power, my pleasure, my pain. Baby, to me you're like a growing addiction that I can't deny. Now won't you tell me is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can be seen?
Nice pause there of Dan just about to unleash more of his unbelievable vocal skills. I absolutely love the interplay between them there vocally. Just zhoop, 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 zhoop. Like just layers and levels to it, ladies and gentlemen, between these two singers. Absolutely works fantastically, turning it into a duet of note here, the two of them, and they're working it, ladies and gentlemen. Dan again giving me a different vibe there, a different dimension with his voice. He is so multi-talented, ladies and gentlemen. The stuff he can do with his voice, ladies and gentlemen, every time out, he's giving us different facets of it, which is just unbelievable. So much skill here in the young man's voice. And he's letting us have it. Yeah, man, he's letting us have it. That's the whole thing. solo, boys. And I gotta tell you, this solo has just jumped. It's just jumped out at me here. This sounds awesome. Some awesome shredding here by the guitarist, whoever that man is. Oh, come on. How can you sit there and not just be electrified by that? That's awesome. Just these metal bits that just absolutely pop into it. Awesomely mixed together here. I gotta tell you, a really good metal remix of this classic pop rock ballad. This is rocking and it is jamming. Absolutely no doubts here. This sounds phenomenally awesome.
To me, you're like a protection that I can't deny. Now, won't you tell me, is that how they play me? But they don't know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can be seen. Babe, I compare you to a kiss from the rose on the grave. Oh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your roses are blown, the light hits the blue of the grave. To a kiss from the rose on the grave. Oh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your roses are blown, the light hits the blue of the grave. Now that your rose is in bloom, the light hits the gloom on the grave.
That was fierce. That was fantastic. That was phenomenal with an F. Just so all of those descriptors all fit together nicely. You know what I mean. What a fantastic performance that was. Both of these singers here absolutely meshing together effortlessly and flawlessly in this performance, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Violet Orlandi's voice just absolutely fitting in perfectly with Dan Vasc, ladies and gentlemen, on this track. They complemented each other so fantastically well here. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, what can you say? They were just, counters to each other, but in a really, really awesome way, and they balanced the track together. Both of them just absolutely going out there and doing amazing things with their voice, but then they just come back together and they just boom. You know what I mean? They center it and they just absolutely smash the track. This was just unbelievable. I enjoyed this. This was just, giving that awesome metal flavor to another really well-known, really awesome pop song from back in the day. Seal doing his thing in the 90s. But Dan just giving us more of that Dan power, that unbelievable voice of his. I mean, he wasn't holding back here, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell you. And he was rocking it looked like a suit. There was no tie there. I don't think there was a tie, but he was rocking a suit, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you know Dan is being serious if he's rocking a suit here. Ballad vibes. But it absolutely did the business here, ladies and gentlemen. The two of them as a duo doing this powerful, powerful duet and absolutely smashing it out of the building, ladies and gentlemen. That was gorgeous. That was fantastic. We are quite familiar with Dan Vasc on my channel, but Violet Orlandi is also from Brazil. She's from Sao Paulo and she was born back in 1995. A singer who specializes in this rock vibe, and she definitely brought that to the table here with Dan. That was a flawless collaboration there, ladies and gentlemen. Two voices just becoming one here in the song, and absolutely just becoming magic. That's what that was. These two voices, they fit together so wonderfully here, and they just absolutely took this track and just they made it rise even higher, ladies and gentlemen. That was just fantastic. That was just awesome, man. Kiss from a Rose, a song originally by British singer-songwriter Seal. It was released on his second eponymous album, Seal 2, basically, back in 1994. The song was first released as a single in July of 1994. I did not actually know this, but back in 1994, upon the initial release of the song as a single, it was actually used on a film called The Never Ending Story 3. Now, I don't know if you remember The Never Ending Story, that Lamal song. Yeah, that's the one, but this was part 3 back in the 90s. But of course, the song really took off when they used it a year later in 1995 for Batman Forever, Joel Schumacher's film with Val Kilmer, Nicole Kidman. That's when the song really exploded. It topped the charts in the United States and Australia, but besides that, it also reached the top 10 in several other countries around about that time, ladies and gentlemen, including Canada, France, Iceland, and Norway. At the 1996 Grammy Awards, it won awards for Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Male Pop Vocal Performance. So as you can see, a classic song, ladies and gentlemen, from back in the day. A song that fits in very well with a movie, with motion pictures. Definitely, there's something uniquely and, massively cinematic about the song. But then you get Violet Orlandi teaming up with the man himself, Dan Vasc, and they give us a metal version here that is just something else. I enjoy the metal vibes, so I really enjoyed what they did with this one. They put it through the ringer, but it came out the other side sounding 10 times as awesome, ladies and gentlemen. It came out the other side sounding phenomenal. Just a completely different version with really, really strong guitar work as well. Shout out to the guitarist, whoever that was. That was freaking awesome. But overall, the vocal display here, so undeniable, so enjoyable, so entertaining by these two singers. So strong, so powerful, so amazing. They did it justice and then some. This was unbelievable business here by Dan Vasc and Violet Orlandi. Dan and Violet made Kiss from a Rose even more magical. This music is unforgettable.